Okay, so today we'll start the grid, like Selenium grid. Okay, so so basically whatever that we covered so far, it was about how to with the Selenium as well as Java, WebDriver, how to talk to uh, browsers and execute the code. Okay, and do some verifications, all those kinds of things, and also Java related stuff, core Java. Okay, and today we are going to see something called as Selenium grid, which is one of the component of the Selenium. Okay, so we had Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, WebDriver, and the other one is the Selenium grid. So this is one of the component that we have in the suite of Seleniums. Okay, and basically what this grid helps us to do is we can execute the script that we have created in different machines. Okay, for example, let's say you have created your script on your local machine, but you want to execute that script on some other machine. Okay, like for example, let's say your system, your personal system has some different configurations, like let's say Internet Explorer, mm, let's say you have Internet Explorer and Windows, let's say 8, and you want to test that application on a different machine, like for example, let's say all different configurations like Windows 10 or Windows 7 with a different browser, like on Windows 7 Internet Explorer, Windows 7 let's say Firefox, or different machines. So we might need to execute our code on different machines. Okay, so that we can achieve with the help of this Selenium grid. Okay, so basically you create your script on one machine, and from that machine you will execute your scripts on different machines, and at the same time you can execute your script on different machines. Like you can kick off your script from your local machine and run at this parallelly on one machine with the Internet Explorer and Windows 7, in another machine like Windows 10 and let's say Firefox. Okay, and let's say on one other machine, like let's say iOS, like let's say maybe Apple iOS operating system, like you want to do something. Okay, on like this, like what we can do is whatever the scripts that we have created, like we can execute on different systems. Okay, not only systems, like you can also test it on different mobile devices also, like mobile devices in the sense iOS devices. Then also you can execute it on the Android devices, or let's say iPad. So like whatever the scripts that we created, like we can execute on different uh, devices and different systems, and that can be achieved with the help of this Selenium grid. Okay, and it has basically two different versions, like grid 1 and grid 2. Grid 2 is the latest version, and grid 1 has been deprecated by the Selenium. Okay, so the latest version is the Selenium grid 2, which will be using it. Okay, and what this Selenium grid does is like we can run our tests on different browsers, different operating systems, and on different machines. Okay, so and not only that, like how exactly this Selenium grid works is the concept of something called as hub and a node. Okay, so basically it's like a parent and a child relation. So basically a hub is a place where you will have all your scripts. Okay, so there is one place called hub, and you will have all your scripts on the hub, and from the hub, like you can start the execution on a node. So node is a different machine where you can execute your script. So from hub, you'll only kick it off. Okay, we'll only start the execution from a hub. But what it does is like it sends all the code and commands to the node. So when you run the browser, like when you execute your code, like the hub will go and connect to the node, and on the node you will see the browser, like browser or the script getting executed, like you will be able to see it on the actual node. Okay, so that's what the concept of hub and node is. So from the hub you will execute, and on the node, like you will the script will be actually performing or being executed on the node machine. Okay, so it says like Selenium grid uses a hub node concept where you only run the test on the single machine called a hub, but the execution will be done by different machines called nodes. So hub and a node. Okay, and not only that, see if you see this picture, see this the machine that you have all your scripts is a hub machine. Okay, and from this hub machine, see you can execute on one node, which can be Android, on another node which can be a like IE on a Windows XP machine, and one node can be a IE on a Ubuntu. Like maybe like Ubuntu is like one of the operating systems that we have, like Windows XP or Ubuntu, Mac, like these are the different operating systems. So what we can do is like whatever the script that we have created from the hub, we can execute on any of these devices, and these are all called as nodes, and the main machine is called as the hub. So hub is a place where you start your script, and that will be executed on these nodes. And one hub can be like in your system, like there will be only one hub that you will create, but you can create like multiple nodes. Okay, so this is how exactly we will create a hub, like how the Selenium grid works, and the concept of hub and node. Okay, so with this, like we can even execute it on all the Android devices, iOS devices, like iPads, like all these kinds of devices can be executed with the help of this hub and node concept, with the help of this Selenium grid. Okay, and basically what this hub is, see, it's a central point for like loading the test. So basically it's one location where, or one system where you will have all your scripts. Okay, and there should be only one hub in a grid. So basically grid is like our system, like grid is like a hub and all our nodes. Okay, and in one grid, like you can only have one hub, but you can have any number of nodes. Okay, so there should be only one hub in a grid and should be launched on one machine. So we'll launch that hub and I'll show you how to do that. And not only that, see, the machine containing the hub is where the test will run, but the executions will be done on the browser of the node. Okay, so basically what it says is whatever the scripts that you execute will be like you will run it from the hub, but the actual execution will be done on the node. Okay, so and see what nodes are is, see, nodes are the Selenium instances that will execute the tests that are loaded on the hub. There can be one or more nodes in a grid. So there can be any number of nodes, like you can, like we saw in the picture, like you can create any number of nodes on a Selenium grid. Okay, and each can be a different configuration or each can be same configuration also. And also like using this grid, like not only on one machine only one thing can be executed. Like for example, see, if you see here, let's say, see, we are saying IE on Windows XP. It's not like that. Like what, with the help of the grid, like what we can do is on one machine itself, like on Windows XP machine itself, like you can parallelly run 4-5 browsers also, different browsers also. Okay, like you can kick it off and say that, okay, execute this script on IE, Firefox, Chrome, or like Safari or something else browser. So what it will do, it will open all the 5 browsers at the same time and it will execute your script. So by that, what will happen is like you will be saving your time in the execution. So you don't need to wait or like for one script to be executed. Like let's say if you want to test your functionality, your script on different browsers like IE, Firefox and Chrome. So we don't need to wait for IE to be completed, then start execution on Firefox, then start execution on the Chrome. What we can do is with the help of this grid, we can just kick it off everything and tell that, okay, execute my script on all the 3 browsers. So what the Selenium will do is it will open first IE, then Firefox, Chrome, and it will continuously execute on the 3 at the same time. Okay, by which you will save a lot of time and also a lot of resources. Okay, and for that actually we also need to use the TestNG framework, which we'll do. Okay, and see, nodes can be launched on multiple machines with different platforms and browsers, and the machine running the nodes need not be at the same platform as that of hub. Okay, so like for example, hub can be on a Windows machine and node can be on a like Safari also. Okay, or Mac machine also. Okay, which is a totally a different operating system. And like I said, like hub can be on a Windows or on a Mac, and node can be on Windows also, or Ubuntu, or whatever the operating system that you have. So you can create your hub and nodes like that and it can be executed. Okay. And so now, like I said, like we have a hub and a node configuration. So to start our execution, to do or use the Selenium grid, like what we need to do is like we need to start the hub and also the node. Okay, so we need to take one system and make that as a hub, and you need to take one another system and you need to make that as a node and then like connect them. Okay, and how to do that is, see, like we'll see the steps. So for this, like we need to have a jar file which is like Selenium server standalone, which we already used. See, for example, let's say I'll go to my jars folder. Okay, see, let's say here I have Selenium server standalone 3.1.0 version. Okay, I also have some other jar files also, like see, Selenium server standalone 2.42, like this is the 42nd version, this is 44th version, and let's say this is 3.1 version. Okay, so we can use whichever the version that we want to. Okay, but the latest one would be the better. Okay, because the latest one will support all the browsers, like what are the latest browsers are there. Like let's say for example this 3.1 0.1 supports like IE11 or Firefox latest version and the Chrome latest version. So it's better if in case if you have a latest version in your system, better to use the latest version of this Selenium server also. Okay, so now what I'll do is, like see, this is my jar file. So we need to start this jar file in order for us to start the hub. And how to do that is, see, okay, so first thing is, like we need to open a command prompt. Okay, so from the command prompt itself, like we'll be able to start the hub. And how to do that is, just go to your like search and say cmd, which will open the command prompt. So we need to go to the command prompt, and in this command prompt, like we need to go to the location where your jar file is. Okay, so now when you open this, it says C colon like users and Satish. So that means we are in the Satish folder. Okay, whereas our jar files, see, if you see here, our jar files are here, like C, Satish, Selenium and jars folder. Okay, so what we need to do is, in the command prompt we need to navigate to that folder. Okay, and how to do that is, we need to know some DOS commands. Okay, just like try to Google it with the DOS commands, like you will get all the commands that you can do in the DOS. Okay, so the basic things that we need to know is, see, now we are in this Satish folder, like C users Satish, but I want to go to a different path, like C Satish Selenium jars. So to do that, like first what we need to do is, we need to come out of this Satish folder. Like how to come out of that is, see, cd dot dot and press enter. Okay, so what it will do, like from that Satish folder, like we came out of that folder and we went into the C users folder. In the same way, let's say now I want to go to the C drive. So I have say cd dot dot and press enter. See, now we came to the CD, like user C drive. Okay, so this is not like a Windows where you can click on the folder and go into that folder. Like we need to use some commands, and then with the help of that commands you can navigate to different folders. Okay, and now, so there is one command called dir, and if you press enter, it will give you the directory, like whatever the directory that you have, like it will give you that directory. Okay, so now go to cd, let's say Satish. So this will take you to the Satish folder. So cd dot dot will get out of that folder, and cd and Satish or whatever the folder name takes you to that folder. Okay, then cd, then again here, let's say if I want to say dir, I'll get whatever the contents of that folder with the help of this dir directory. Okay, so now again I'll say cd Selenium, and it takes me to the Selenium folder. Again, if I say dir, I can see it. Okay, so now if you see here, see, there is a jar folder and there is latest jars. I can go to the jars folder, cd jars. Okay, see dir. So all the files that are present in this jars folder, and if you see here, see all these files: Chrome driver, IE driver, JUnit. See, if you see here, like JUnit, POI 3.5, all these things. See, Selenium standalone server 3.0.1.jar, like that. Okay, so now like what we need to do is, so we are in the path of that jars location. Okay, so now what we need to do is, we need to start that server. Okay, or we need to start the hub. And how to do that is, see, java hyphen jar. Okay, so this is like to start that server. Okay, so java hyphen jar is the method that you can use to start a jar file or to run a execute a jar file. And then see, we need to know the path of that server or the name of that file. See, if you see here, it says, see, selenium hyphen server hyphen standalone hyphen 3.0.1.jar. So this is the name of the jar file. Okay, so once you get the name, like see, space, press a space, give hyphen role as hub. Okay, see, this is how you can start the hub. So java hyphen jar selenium hyphen server hyphen standalone hyphen 3.1.jar hyphen role space hub. So that means we are saying that, okay, you are starting a hub. The role of this server is hub. Okay, press enter. See, it's starting the grid. And finally it says, see, selenium grid hub is up and running. And see, this is the IP address of our system. Okay, see, http colon 192.168.10, like this is my IP address, and at 4444 is my port that I started my grid. So by default, when you say just hyphen role hub, it will start the server at all fours, like 4444 port number. Okay, so now the grid is running, like grid hub is running. Okay, so in case if you want to really check whether this hub is running or not, what we can do is we can go to the browser. Okay, open a tab and say localhost, see, localhost colon 4444. Okay, open it, like navigate to the browser. See, it will give you this selenium grid hub version 3.0.1. okay, and just click on this console. So you have, for more information about the grid hub, please see docs, like it's like a help file, or you're looking for the console. So just click on this console and click on this view config. See, this, you will get this information. Okay, so it gives you about the whatever the hub, or like whatever the hub that we just started. Okay, so this is how you have to start the hub. So once you start the hub, if you go to the localhost 4444 or whatever the port number that you have here, okay, it will open this page. That means our grid hub has been started and it's running. Okay, so this is the hub. So like I said, like hub, and we have also the nodes. Okay, so if you go here, see, so this hub has been started. So now we need to start our nodes. See, node. So now we need to go into the other machine where you want to execute your script, and in that machine we have to do again some steps. Okay, so I have I have one more system that I can connect to, and I can do it. Or what I can do is, in case if you don't have the second system, what we can do is, in the same system, like this one system itself, you can make it as a hub as well as node also. Okay, the same system I can use it as a hub and node. So how to do that is, see, I'll open a new command prompt. Like we don't need to do anything on this command prompt. Okay, so this hub is running and it will be there itself. Open one more command prompt. Okay, then I can go to the same jar folder, cd dot dot cd satish cd selenium cd jars. Okay, if I say dir, I'll get my files. So now here what we need to do is, we need to make it as a hub. So think about it as a second system, or in the same system we can start a node. So if it is a second machine, like what we need to do is, we need to go to that specific machine and do this task. So even that jar file should be present in the second system also. Okay, so now what I'll do is, see, java hyphen jar selenium hyphen server hyphen standalone hyphen 3.0.1.jar. okay, hyphen role, and I'll say node. Okay, so this system we are making it as a node. Okay, now, but to node of which system? Okay, so we need to specify that like this is the system that I want to make it as hub, and this is node. So from this node I want to connect to this hub. Okay, so we are saying this system is a node, but we also need to provide some information like where your hub is. Okay, so for that what we need to do is see, like we need to give the IP address, which is here. See, hyphen hub space http colon slash slash like 192.168.10.119 slash grid slash register, like this. Okay, if you see here, see that's here, grid slash register. Okay, space port 5555. Okay, so this is the port. So what I'm saying that on 4444 like you have your hub, and like the port that I want to make here is 5555. Okay, so now yeah, port 5555, that's it. Okay, so java hyphen jar, the jar file name hyphen role is node hyphen hub, like the path of the or the IP address of the hub, and then the port number for that or where you want to connect to. Then press enter. So it's starting the okay, it says could not register this node, error sending the registration request, connect to this. Okay, looks like it's unable to connect, so let's see why. Okay, so it says failed connection, refused connect. Okay, so it's even trying to connect it multiple times, but it's not getting the connection. So let's see why. Okay, so I'll press Control C to exit it from there. Okay, so let's start that again. Okay, so let me remove this. Okay, as this is the same machine, so looks like something is wrong. So let's run it again and see. It again says connection is refused. Okay, Control C. Okay, so what I'll do is instead of giving this, I'll give localhost. Okay, if it is a different machine, you have to give this path, but let's see by giving localhost as it is a same machine colon 4444. Okay, let's try this. Localhost colon 4444 as it's a same machine. So let's try this. Yeah, see now it says the node is registered to the hub and is ready to use. See, the node is registered and is ready to use. So that means our node has been started as well as our hub has been started. Okay, so I gave here as a local host because both are on the same machine, like hub as well as the whole like node are on the same machine. So that's why I gave it as local host. In case if it is a different machine, we need to give the IP address of that machine. And how we will know the IP address is, see, go to the command prompt of that machine and just type IP config and press enter. So it will give you the IP address of the other machine. And if you see here, see IPv4 address, like this is what the IP address is, like 192.168.10.119. Okay, so from the other machine you need to do this. Okay, so let's close this. So now our hub and node both are running, like both have been started and both are running. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to write our script. Okay, so this is how we will start the hub as well as how we will start the node. Okay, so if you see here, See, I gave the steps to it. See, navigate to the folder where Selenium server jar file using the command prompt. Then we need to type java-jar, the standalone, like whatever the jar file name, -role as hub. And our hub will be launched. And if you want to check the hub, all we need to do is see, go to the localhost :4444, and which will give you the version of the hub, like 2.3.0 or whatever the jar file that we executed. Okay, so this is how we'll start the hub. And in the same way, in case if you want to start uh, start the node, see, launching the node, like we need to go to the second machine and navigate to the folder where our Selenium jar file is located from the command prompt. Okay, and then see, type, like again we need to go to the command prompt and say java-jar, like Selenium standalone server -role. Okay, so this is like a different thing, like we'll see what it is, but whatever that we did, we can also do that. See, -role -hub and IP address of the machine, and like this. Okay, and then we need to go to the Selenium Grid web interface and refresh the page. Okay, so again now the hub has been connected. So before it was coming like this, so let's refresh this page. Okay, I'll go back. See, again I'll say view config. Okay, let me go to the localhost again. Okay, console view config. Okay, so as this is on the same machine, like it's not showing the browsers, but otherwise what we can do is like it will show you all the browsers that are present on this system. Okay, so like IE, Internet Explorer, Firefox, Chrome, whichever the browsers are open, like you can see those browsers. Okay, so I'll show you the like running it on a different machine and then I can show you that. Okay, see, something like that, like this. Okay, so it supports up to 5 concurrent tests from like Firefox, Chrome, and this Internet Explorer, like this. So that means at the same time you can execute 5 Chrome, Firefox, 5 Chrome of like browsers, and 1 Internet Explorer. Okay, so we can run all of them at the same time. Okay, and see. Okay, so now like I said, like now we have started the hub as well as we have started the node. Okay, so next is we need to create our script to execute on this, like from the node to the what you call our node. Okay, so from hub we want to execute it onto our node. So for that reason, like we need to write our script, and to do that there are two things that we need to do. See, one is desired capabilities, like one object that you need to create is the desired capabilities, and the other one is the remote WebDriver. So far, like whatever that we were doing was like we were creating the WebDriver for, like, say, a Firefox driver or an Internet Explorer driver or a Chrome driver. Okay, but if you want to use it for the grid, like we need to create a remote WebDriver. Okay, and to that remote WebDriver, like we need to also pass some desired capabilities. Okay, which we'll see now what those desired capabilities are, or how to write the code is. Like, let's see. Okay, so let's go back to our script, and let's say what I'll do is I will create one new class, let's say WebDriver, or probably I can use this Amazon script itself. Okay, which is already open. See, Amazon script. Okay, so instead of like writing the all new code, like let's say I want to use this, or probably I can create one. See, right click, new, let's say class. Let's create a plain WebDriver code, and I'll say grid example. Okay, and I want to have the main method. Okay, I have my grid class, like one class that I created and all our methods in there. Okay, so now the first step that we need to do is we need to create a remote WebDriver object. Okay, so like I said, like before what we were doing, see, if you see here, like we are creating a WebDriver driver and a new Chrome driver. And if it is a Firefox, we'll do Firefox driver. If it is an Internet Explorer, we'll create a Internet Explorer driver. Okay, so in the same way, for the grid, instead of creating these browser specific web driver, like what we'll do is we'll create a remote web driver. And before that remote web driver, like I said, like we have to do something called as desired capabilities. Okay, so how to do that is, see, desired capabilities, BILITES, okay, CAPS, okay, some variable equal to desired, DESIRED, capabilities dot, see, let's say like this desired capability dot c. If it is an Android, like if you want to execute your scripts on an Android device, we have to say Android. If it is Chrome, we have to say Chrome. Firefox, see, like this, HTML unit, like Internet Explorer, iPad, iPhone, Opera, Phantom, okay, Phantom JS, like these are all the different browsers that are supported by our like Selenium. Okay, see, Safari, Opera, these are the different browsers that we have. So for example, let's say I want to do it on a Firefox, or let's say on a Chrome. Okay, see, I'll create this Chrome like this. Okay, and once you type this, like it is going to download it. See, or import org.openqa.selenium.remote.desired capabilities. Okay, so it will create our, like it will import that class for us. And now using these desired capabilities, like we have to set some browser as well as some platform to it. See, caps dot set browser name. Okay, so here we need to provide which browser you want to execute. So I'll say Chrome. Okay, and also see, caps dot set, let's say platform. Okay, platform in the sense on which platforms you want to execute, and I can say, see, platform dot Windows. Okay, so again, based on which capabilities object that you create and where you want to execute, so you can select like this. So any means you can execute this on any of them. Android means Android devices, then Linux, Mac, Unix, Vista, like Windows 8, 8.1, Windows platform, XP, like that. So let's say if you select Windows, you can run it on any of your Windows machine. Okay, for like any of the Windows machines, we can execute it. Okay, so like this, like there are different things that we can do. See, caps dot, okay, see all these things, like get platform in case if you want to get like one of what is the platform that you are using. Okay, all these kinds of things. But basically all we do is we'll set the browser name and the type of the platform that you want to execute on. Okay, so once this is done, like now what we need to do is we need to create the WebDriver object. Okay, so for that, see, remote driver equal to new remote web driver of, see, new URL. Okay, so before passing the URL, like what we need to do is we need to pass where you want to execute this, like on which node you want to execute. So what I'll do is I'll create one variable here, the string, let's say I'll give it as node URL. Okay, and node URL equal to, I'll provide the path like http colon, so I need to get my path. See, this is the one, 192.168, like the grid path. Okay, so it's 192.168, see, / 192.168.10, I think it's 10.119.119, okay, colon 5555 / wd / hub, like this. Okay, wd.hub and semicolon. Okay, so this is our node URL. Node URL in the sense the path or the IP address of the system where your node is running. Okay, so as here, like as we are using the same one, like we need to provide the same IP address. Okay, or I think we should even give localhost colon 5555, but let's run it and see. In case if it doesn't work, we'll change it to localhost. But if it's a different machine, we have to for sure give the IP address of the machine like this. Okay, and then see remote WebDriver driver equal to new remote WebDriver of new, and in the brackets, like you need to new URL of this node URL. Okay, space, like comma, this capabilities object like this. Okay, see remote WebDriver. So before we were using just WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver or like that, but here now we need to create a remote WebDriver, and then we need to pass this node URL as well as the capabilities object. Okay, so there is some error. See, let's see what it is. See, it says import remote WebDriver. Click on that and see. And also see on URL there is an error. So just select that and say import URL java.net like this. Okay, again it says one more, and it says unhandled exception type malformed URL exception. So it says that you are passing a URL. In case if there might be a chances that URL might not be available. So it just says in case if it is not available, do something like declaration throws, like kind of an exception handling. So click on this, add declaration, and I can say just exception like this. Okay, so driver object has been created, and now everything is same. See driver dot get, okay, URL, like same thing what we did with the other one. See http colon slash slash www dot, let's say amazon.com. okay, then I can say thread dot sleep, let's say 2000 milliseconds. Okay, and then all the other code, like let's say if you want to click on something or if you want to do some task on it, like for example, see same thing like thread.sleep, and then let's say see click something, error message and all these things. Okay, so rather than writing, I'm just copying what is the code that we already created it to log into the Amazon like this. Okay, see driver variable is same, so I'm not changing anything. So we are finding something and we are running it. So click on save. So the only difference is, see this thing. Okay, giving the node URL, then we have to create the desired capabilities, and we need to create the remote WebDriver object. Okay, so now what we need to do is, after writing the code, we need to go back and we need to start our server. But we already started it. See, our node is running and our grid is running. So both of them are running. Okay, in case if they are not, like we need to go to those both the machines. First we need to start the hub, and then we need to start the node and register it to it. Okay, so now what I'll do is, see, I'll execute this. So if I execute this, in case actually it is the same machine, as we are running it on the same machine, so it will open the browser here itself and it will execute the code. Okay, but in case if it is a different machine located at some other place, like it will go and connect to that machine and it will execute the system or execute the code in there. Okay, so let me save this and run it. Okay, so look, like there is some issue in my machine, so because of which it's not running. Okay, which I'll try to fix it, and in the next class I'll show you how it works. Okay, but let's try it and see. See, I'll run it as Java application. See, it opened a browser. Okay, see, there is some issue with my browser and like also my system, so that's why it's not executing. Okay, it says, see, execution context created as invalid, some kind of exception is coming. Like I said, like my Windows got updated like last week, and because of this, like a lot of changes like it happened. So I need to download the new jar files, like new versions of IE, all the browsers, then only it's working. Okay. And again, IE, I was able to fix it, but the Chrome and other, it's still not working. So I need to go back and again look what the issue is. Okay. But this is how exactly we'll start the, like create the code for the grid and we'll execute it. Okay. So now we haven't done much with this. Like all we did is we are executing our code on a different machine. But there are some other functionalities also that we can do with the grid. Like I said, like we can execute parallelly, like from one at the same time you can execute the same code on different browsers like Firefox, Chrome, IE at the same time. Okay, but to do that we need to make some changes to our script. Like we need to enhance our whatever the script that we created, then only we will be able to execute it. And not only that, like we need to know about the TestNG framework, okay, which we'll see after the grid. Like we'll see the TestNG. So in TestNG, like they have different options in that framework which we can use, and we can execute our scripts in the grid. Okay, so we'll learn that in the TestNG on how to do that. But in the next class, like I'll show you how to execute this on a different machine. Like even I have another machine, like I'll try to connect to that machine and execute it on that machine. But meanwhile, you guys can also try it. Okay, so just download the latest version of the Selenium server standalone. Okay, so all you can do is just Google it. See, if you go to Google and say like download, see Selenium standalone server. Okay, so see, you'll get this link seleniumhq.org. Go to the download Selenium server and see you have here Selenium standalone server download version 3.0.1. Okay, even in case if your IE is not working and if it is the latest version, like you need to download this latest standalone server and you need to associate it to your project. Okay, see, click on this 3.0.1, see, which will download my Selenium jar. So just copy this into your jars folder and then go back to your project. See here, right click, properties, Java build path, and here you need to add. See, now here I have 2.42.2.jar. Okay, so let me remove this and add the latest one. See, add external, and I can add it from my jars. Let's see if this fixes the issue. Okay, see, right click, run as Java application. No, even still it's not working. So I need to check what the issue is. It says java.net.socket exception connection reset. Okay, so looks like some parts or something got changed because of my like upgraded version of the Windows, like Windows 10 I'm using it. Okay, so let me check that, and like by next class, like we'll try to execute this on a different machines and see. Okay, so but you guys can try it in case if your Firefox and IE or whatever the browsers that you're working, if it is working, then try to do it. So for, see, this is for the Chrome. In case if you want to run the same thing for a Firefox, see .firefox. Okay, and here instead of Chrome you have to say Firefox. Okay, if it is for IE, we need to say IE, like that. Okay, so just try to do it and see in case if you are able to run. Otherwise, like in the next class, like I'll show you how to do it. Okay, see Chrome. Okay, so for Chrome also, like when we are starting the node, we need to make some changes with the latest version of the 3.0.1. Okay, like we are using this latest version like 3.1.jar. So for starting the node for the Selenium Chrome, like for the Chrome browser, we need to make some changes. Okay, I'll even show you that in your next class. So if it is Firefox, we can easily run it, but the other versions, like we need to make some more changes, which we'll see in the next class. Okay, so till then, try to practice, and in case if you guys have any questions, let me know. Okay, so any questions so far? Okay, let me unmute.